So we are finally in week 10, and I'm here to break down my picks for the week. We'll start with Thursday night game, the Redskins and the Vikings. I think this will actually be a really competitive game, a good Thursday night game, and I'm going with the Vikings. I think they finally got it going on the ground last game. Adrian Peterson will have a solid game against Washington, and I think they'll be able to step up at home on primetime television. So going with the Vikings. Seattle versus Atlanta. I am going with Seattle, although I was skeptical. They have struggled, especially defending the run, and it looks like Steven Jackson will be back this week in Atlanta. And that concerns me a little bit for Seattle's defensive side. But I do think Matt Ryan will not be able to match up with that secondary due to his lack of star receivers right now. So I think the Seahawks will be able to capitalize on some mistakes by Matt Ryan, and they'll be able to win that football game. Cincinnati versus Baltimore. I'm going with Baltimore. This was kind of also a hard one for me to decide. I'm going with Baltimore mainly because Cincinnati's coming off a tough loss. Baltimore is at home, and I think with Geno Atkins out for the Bengals, they'll have to get used to defending without him, and I think that takes an adjustment period, and I think Baltimore will be able to capitalize on that. Baltimore's line does need to step up, though. The defense of the Cincinnati Bengals is still very good, but I don't think that the Bengals will be able to get the job done. Texans and the Cardinals. I am going with the Cardinals. Once again, the home field advantage factor is a little bit helping them, and they are a really good team. The Cardinals are very good. They just happen to play in a very tough division. So I think they'll be able to get the win. I think Case Keenum will have a good day, but I don't think they'll be able to get the ground game going, and without the ground game, I don't see them winning this game. The Cardinals win at home. Dallas versus New Orleans. I'm going New Orleans. They came off a tough loss last week. Dallas barely won. New Orleans is the better team, and in a shootout, I believe in Drew Brees more than I do believe in Tony Romo. Detroit versus Chicago. This depends a little bit on if Jay Cutler comes back, but I still am picking Detroit. I think that the Bears' defense is not that great. I think Detroit will be able to capitalize. Calvin Johnson will have a big day. Matthew Stafford will have a big day, and they'll get the win against their division rival. Buffalo-Pittsburgh. I'm picking Buffalo. E.J. Manuel's back. Jeff Toole does not have to play, and that's a big help. I think he'll be able to capitalize on a weak Pittsburgh defense that allowed 55 points last week and lead Buffalo to victory. Philadelphia versus Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is out, so I'm going with the Eagles. I think that they finally got their offense going last week. Green Bay will struggle trying to get its offense going without Aaron Rodgers. Too much of that team is based around him. Eagles get the win. St. Louis versus Indianapolis. Going with Indy. They're a very good team playing at home against a mediocre club. They'll be able to get the run game going, and that'll help Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton build more chemistry when they have that run game going. They won't be solely focused on. So going with the Colts. Oakland versus the Giants. Last week I probably would have gone with Oakland, but after watching the Eagles shred that secondary, I have to go with the Giants. I think Eli Manning, after a bye week, he'll be able to come back, maybe get that deep passing game going, and that'll really spark the Giants to victory. Jacksonville, Tennessee, that was the easy one. Tennessee's a very good ball club. Jacksonville is not, and they are without their top weapon in Justin Blackmon. Tennessee gets the easy win. Carolina versus San Francisco, game of the week right here. Carolina, I believe, right now at this point in time is the best team in the NFC. They are the most complete team in the NFC, and I think they'll be able to stop San Francisco. On the road, Carolina is going to come to the West Coast, and they are going to win. Just because Cam Newton's not going to make mistakes. He's going to be efficient with the football. They'll be able to get some run game help, and I think their defense can shut down the run game of San Francisco. And if they do that, then it's big trouble for Kaepernick in that offense because he doesn't have any weapons in the passing game aside from Vernon Davis. So I think Carolina gets the win on the road in my upset of the week. Denver versus San Diego. This could also be considered the upset of the week. I am picking the Chargers. Denver, their head coach is out, but I just think that Phillip Rivers will be able to capitalize on a weak Broncos secondary, and I think San Diego gets the win. I think it'll come down to the wire, but I'm picking the Chargers and I'm sticking to it. Miami versus Tampa Bay. I am picking the Buccaneers to get their first win. I think there's just too much going on in Miami right now with the Richie Incognito, Jonathan Martin controversy. You watched my video on that yesterday that I posted. I just think when you have that type of talk, you're not focused on football. And Tampa Bay, they played solid for 3 quarters last week. I'm picking them to get the win. Those are my Week 10 picks. Follow me on Twitter. Check out the blog. We like to post polls. Get your comments there. And you know what's up.